93 Boxing, back with another video. Let's talk about Canelo Alvarez. Let's talk about Saul Canelo Alvarez, guys. Let's hear it. Let's see what Canelo had to say. Because he finally opened his mouth. And this is what he said. I don't know why they're annoyed. If I'm the one that made them the most money, they said that it's not important. Sorry, they said that it's not important, that they are not arguing about it. But this is the first thing they are fighting for, the money, the purse. They only care about that. The hypocrisy is saying that is not important is the first hypocrisy. Canelo Alvarez's statement. And also, let's go through more of his statements. No doubt this will be a better fight. The desire to tear his head off is so big, and it will be much better. The truth is that this fight means a lot to me because of all that has happened and all that has been said. I will prove with my fist that I'm the best, and Golovkin will eat all of his words and speculations. I will demonstrate who the best is, or who is the best, when I defeat Golovkin soundly on September 15 during Mexican Independence Day weekend. And it will make it clear that Mexican boxing is the best, Canelo said. Canelo's not lying. But a lot of casual boxing fans think he's chatting shit. You know, it's crazy because we always like to say that Triple G is not a businessman. Not we, a lot of Triple G fanboys. And Triple G himself claimed, I am no businessman. But Triple G has rejected Canelo's offer for the rematch initially. How come? Because he wanted a 50-50 split? He clearly cares about money. And I said this a long time ago. I have said this. You can check my previous channel out. The videos are all there. I made my previous channel. I've been saying this since September. There's a video on September 2016. A video I made on November 2016 saying that Canelo would beat Triple G if Triple G stops bullshitting. And in the first fight, he really did. It's just Triple G threw more punches but didn't land shit. But only jabs. More importantly, Triple G at the time rejected a $15 million offer. Do you remember that? Do you guys remember that? That's how I knew he was in it for the money. If you have a shitty resume, right, and you say you want unification, you want to fight Canelo, why would you reject when Canelo's offering you $15 million and your biggest payday was what, $5 million? Or maybe £1? And to be honest, when you're coming in the UK to fight, I'm fairly sure you get taxed heavy. When you're in the States, you get taxed a bit less. So why is it an issue for Triple G to accept that $15 million offer, especially when you say you're no businessman? Triple G wanted that Canelo fight for the payday. He doesn't want to fight no Ward because, again... And also another thing, right? I remember Triple G was there on, I believe it was ESPN. And he was explaining Andre Ward was inactive. Therefore, I think I can't remember exactly, but I think he argued about the split that they should give 50-50 or more to Triple G because Andre Ward's not active. Why would you do that? If you're not about business, if you're not about money, why would you do that? Triple G's been bullshitting his whole career, man. He's full of shit. And his fanboys are not really helping him either. They're kind of buying into this. I mean, they're kind of peddling this bullshit that Triple G's been starting to peddle. He kind of started this. The whole notion that Canelo was on clenbuterol is bullshit. You guys are talking about clenbuterol, and some of these videos are coming out on the internet today and yesterday saying that, Canelo looks much smaller now that he's off clenbuterol. Bullshit. And all these guys, they don't know what they're talking about. They're showing pictures of Canelo in the gym when he's working out, he's pumped, right? And there's pictures of Canelo when he's just probably off, maybe he's in training camp now. These pictures that he's comparing with now, he's in training camp, but he's not full on in training camp. And it's a picture of him outside the gym. Obviously, when you're in the fucking gym, your body's gonna be more pumped. Your muscles are gonna be more pumped, right? And they're comparing, they're looking at some of these pictures. You have to keep in mind, lighting is something that does affect how you look. There's a video of Conor Murphy. If you look at, he's a physique competitor. He stands in a certain position, like where the sun's facing towards his abs, and you can clearly see the abs. Then he faces in a position where his back is towards the sun. So that means his abs are kind of like in a shadow region. And you can't really see his abs at all. He actually kind of looks like he's out of shape. Like, not out of shape, but not lean at that angle. Angles and lighting matters. These guys talking about Canelo, like, it's ridiculous, man. It's completely ridiculous. And no shit, when you're in the gym, you're going to be more pumped, right? If anyone's on drugs, I believe, right, it's Triple G. I've seen pictures of Triple G where his stomach looks like it's kind of coming up. It looks like he has a six-pack, right? But it kind of looks like he has a fat six-pack. Like, there's a bunch of fat with a six-pack, and his stomach's kind of... He looks more different. There's pictures of Triple G where he looks more different than he does in the weigh-in and in the fight. Canelo's pictures, they don't look too much more different compared to his fight build, like how he's built in the fight. Some of these guys that came out says all kinds of ridiculous shit, man. And you know, there's this video saying, oh, Canelo now he doesn't look as muscular, and he doesn't look as he looked more boyish. He looked more of a boy, not like a man, you know. Not realizing the guy's got facial hair and shit. And shit, the guy was 20. They're comparing pictures of him in 2013. The guy was like 23 at the time. Yeah, he was 23. The guy was 23 at the time. Shit, like, I didn't know that people were actually going to think that, oh, at the age of 23, you're supposed to look as manly as you do at the age of 27. That's not with everyone. I mean, shit, I'm what, 24? I look a bit more different than I was when I was 22. That makes a difference. 21, I was a lot different. Holy shit, like, these guys are so dumb. And you have to keep in mind, Francisco Vargas failed the drug test. He initially, before going to Mexico, he passed the drug test, but then he came back from Mexico, he failed it, and he had twice the amount of clenbuterol as Canelo, but it was still a negligible amount. And there is a problem with Mexico with clenbuterol. So for anyone to say, "Oh, Canelo, there's no way he was," it wasn't the meat. It wasn't the meat. Like, yeah, you can't claim that. You can't claim that. You have to have evidence to say it was not the meat. Because at the end of the day, that's a problem in Mexico. CEO of VADA said that herself. And Canelo had half the amount of clenbuterol as this guy, and this guy has negligible amount of clenbuterol. The CEO of VADA even claimed that we're not even sure of how much anabolic effects clenbuterol even has. So we can't even claim that Canelo Alvarez was on something and there was proof for it. There was no proof for shit. Just imagine this, yeah? I feel like Canelo was set up, and the way you need to know this, right? Francisco Vargas, for example, his drug test was done about 2-week period of time, right? Where right before going to America, he took a drug test, and when he was coming back to America for the fight, I believe, he took a drug test. It was a 2-week difference. Canelo's drug test, I believe he was in Mexico or whatever, but it was a 4-day difference. No shit. When you have something in your system on the first day, on day 4, you probably will have the same shit in your system, especially clenbuterol. And then now, I don't understand why they put a 4-day difference. Now, I know why, because they said, now they can go around saying, oh yeah, Canelo failed 2 drug tests. Bullshit. Bullshit. All these guys are chatting shit. You know, you had Team Triple G was saying that, oh, yeah, if the hair test sample proves it, right? So why doesn't Canelo take the hair sample test? And he did it, and now they're making all kinds of excuses. This Triple G team is full of shit, man. Seriously full of shit. And some of these fans that support Triple G and claim that Canelo's on something, they're not using their brains. These people buy into hype. All aspects of society I've looked at, people buy into hype. People look into hype. They don't have the mental capacity to look deep into something. That's why they buy into hype. Oh, Canelo's on clenbuterol. He must be on something. It's a steroid. Like, Brendan Skalub or whatever his name is, the guy who was reviewing Conor McGregor from the UFC. Occasionally you see him with Joe Rogan. The guy, like, there's a video of him ages ago saying that Clenbuterol is not a steroid. Later on, when Canelo gets caught with something, they're now saying, oh, he's on steroids. Oh, look, he's on steroids. There's proof he's on steroids. Like, shut up, man. All these guys are full of shit, man. All these guys are full of shit. But you know what? Canelo Triple G, September 15th. I think Triple G will get... He'll get his loss that he really deserved in the first fight. Then he'll go retire. Yep. I believe that's what will happen. It'd be a fluke for Triple G to win. If Triple G wins convincingly, that's a fluke. Believe me. He ain't shit, man. He's overrated. He's a good fighter, but he's overrated. Seriously overrated. Has no defense. He has a chin. And the only reason he comes forward after taking a shot because he has no choice but to come forward. The guy can't fight for shit on the back foot. But that's all I have to say. 93 Boxing. I'm out.